Hi, I'm Tony, and just like this week's movie, be prepared for a gender swap as we review Ocean's 8. This review will, of course, be spoiler-free. The idea of another Ocean's movie didn't really excite me. In addition, the twist of the primary cast all being women did nothing for me either. I'm not the world's biggest fan of the current craze that swaps dicks for chicks in order to reinvigorate a franchise. This isn't a good enough reason in itself to justify a reboot, especially one that no one was interested in revisiting like Ocean's, a franchise which hasn't been popular or relevant for quite some time. A movie should be rebooted because someone has a great idea with regards to the script, the story, and offering something new. Not caring about the script, the complexities of the heist, or creating drama are all faults of this movie. Marketing the movie purely on the fact that they've replaced the male cast with women is completely transparent. In fact, it's my opinion that gender washing should really be looked upon as a negative aspect, just as much as whitewashing. It's stifling diversity for the sake of social grandstanding, and some perceived notion that women don't have a voice in Hollywood. The main plot and focal heist of this movie also seems to be counterintuitive to the movie's social purpose. It's putting women front and centre and trying to show that they can be badass and cool criminals, but then their heist takes place at the Met Gala and the MacGuffin is to steal a necklace. So female criminals aren't able to think about stealing outside of the realms of jewellery at one of the most important nights in the world of fashion. Bullock's first priority out of prison is to steal fancy makeup and perfume. Sexist much? Oh, and do all female inmates get offered a full face of makeup and a curly blow as part of their parole meeting? Maybe you can see all this as the women of this movie using their femininity and sexuality in order to empower and liberate themselves. Or you could see this as this movie reconfirming stereotypical and outdated gender roles and priorities. The cast of this movie is quite good. There are established Oscar winners like Cate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway and Sandra Bullock, respected TV actors like American Horror Story's likeable Sarah Paulson, and fresh exciting faces to the world of cinema like Rihanna and the scene-stealing Awkwafina. Helena Bonham Carter also pops up to play Irish Helena Bonham Carter, while Mindy Kaling has to be the ensemble's weakest link in terms of performance and importance to the plot. But each character's introduction into the movie feels smooth, not forced like other large ensemble pieces, like Suicide Squad for example. They each have a purpose, varying importance, and each are distinctly different with regards to characteristics and personality. Sandra Bullock plays Debbie Ocean, a career criminal who we're introduced to as she is being released from prison. The first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie seems to be focused on making you fully aware that in this universe, Bullock is the sister of George Clooney's Danny Ocean from the original trilogy. Honestly, it must be mentioned or focused on about 5 times in the first 5 minutes. Debbie, is Danny Ocean your brother by any chance? He is? Really? Well, you haven't mentioned it. If Bullock is supposed to be this movie's George Clooney, then the effortlessly cool and hip Cate Blanchett is her Brad Pitt. Though in my opinion, Blanchett is the most talented actress in this movie, her performance is quite subdued, and I don't believe in her relationship with Bullock as much as this movie wants and needs you to. They lack chemistry and their minimal banter falls flat. But can we all just take a moment to appreciate Kate's Bowie-inspired outfit at the Met Gala? Thank you. Anne Hathaway is not an actress that I'm usually fond of. However, she plays the spoiled, arrogant, egotistical, deadhead celebrity Daphne Kluger brilliantly. She gives the best performance of the movie and one of the most energetic and diverse of her career. Though there is a certain level of slick directing from Gary Ross, on the whole, the directing and screenplay are lazy, uninspired and dull. Unlike practically every good heist movie ever made, nothing ever seems to go wrong for this gang. Their plans go smoothly, which means that no tension is ever built. With regards to the heist itself, some of its most complex and complicated aspects are washed over simply and quickly. Minimal explanation is given to the plan's more elaborate aspects, which only undermines the intelligence of the criminals. This is all the fault of lazy screenwriting by the director Gary Ross and co-screenwriter Olivia Milch, who clearly can't develop a heist movie as well as Steven Soderbergh, the director of the original trilogy. The movie isn't as intelligent as it thinks, with oversimplification of extreme obstacles and the other problems that the criminals face, which are combated with very convenient solutions. The movie suffers from a lack of energy from both the cast as well as the director, and ultimately feels like a by-the-book 101 version of a heist movie. And in this day and age where we have far surpassed the straight-to-the-point heist genre, with genre hybrids such as the superhero heist genre in Ant-Man, and the sci-fi heist with Solo and Rogue One, this movie needed to stand on its own 2 feet, be remarkable, and offer something new and fresh. I mean, you can even heist an idea in movies like Inception. So how can we be satisfied with this venture? It doesn't feel like it's bringing the Oceans franchise into 2018, and instead, the cinematography calls back to a style which feels very noughties. The movie meanders along, just waiting for the main heist to occur, which would be forgivable if we were provided with an elaborate, dramatic and tense set piece. But the heist doesn't feel like the main event, and neither tension nor excitement are allowed to build, as they pull the trigger too early every time, which is more criminal than these characters. There are also moments of negative feminism in this movie, which is never pleasant viewing, with characters saying such things as they can't use a man in their heist, as men get noticed and focused on while women get ignored, is clearly a snide jab at Hollywood and the current social climate. However, the fact that the current social climate can allow these Oscar-winning, wealthy actresses to be front and centre in a multi-million-dollar summer blockbuster kind of shows that the point they were trying to make is now completely moot. But with its arrogant air of superiority, how can this movie expect to attract the largest audience possible when it goes out of its way to insult 50% of its potential audience? And then, when 50% of the audience don't turn up to see the movie, and it makes a loss, whose fault will it be? Why, the men, by any chance? There is also one too many moments of jewellery and fashion porn, with the Cartier montage feeling self-indulgent, purely just to appease the blatantly obvious target audience. When it's revealed that Bullock's main motive is because she's a jilted lover who wants revenge on her ex, it doesn't make you want to root for her or for her to exceed, as she comes across as bitter and spiteful. That's not a healthy breakup. After the events of the heist, the movie's final 15 minutes take a very anticlimactic and strange turn with the unnecessary introduction of James Corden's character. This section of the movie is where it thinks it's being most intelligent, but really it causes the little momentum the movie has created to come to a screeching halt. The comedic relief that Corden provides feels too out of place and dated for what I think this movie wanted to achieve. The humour can sometimes work based off the strength of certain performances, but it can fall equally as flat, leaving it down to the movie's musical score to be the best aspect. In typical Ocean's style, it's slick, cool and perfectly suitable for a heist movie. In a year full of high quality blockbusters, all of which seem to be offering something new and exciting, this movie feels like a trip back to noughties cinema. Not in a nostalgic way, but rather unimaginative and lazy. This movie isn't getting the same level of heat that the all-female Ghostbusters reboot got, but that's only because the Forgotten Oceans franchise doesn't have the same rabid fanbase. Based on the quality of the movie, it deserves the same level of scorn, not because of the genders of the cast, but because of the lazy and dull script which unintentionally enforces gender identities that it proposed it would break. Worst of all, it took one of cinema's coolest, tensest and slickest genres and made it criminally dull and boring. Look, I know that women, especially some of the cast, have rushed to defend this movie, but I hope that as a woman, I can give a fair and honest review. If something isn't good, then I can't run to its defence just because I share the same gender as the leading cast. It's for these reasons that I'm giving Ocean's 8 2.5 rookie reels out of 5. Well, that's our review. What did you think? Leave us a comment below and make sure to like, share and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye! It's stifling diversity using their femininity and sexuality.
Liked what you saw and have an interest for travel and adventure? Check out our other YouTube channel, Roman Rookies, as we travel across 14 countries in an 11-month whirlwind of fun and excitement. Just click here or the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.